Yes, ma'am.
She'll be here. She'll just turn her camera off.
Okay.
Okay, let me go to oh shoot. Darn it, I can never get this right. Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Chemisphere. We have the beautiful Miss Cindy Marvelous here with us today. Any comments or questions? We will put the link in the chat eventually. Hold on a second. I have a message. We will eventually put the link in the chat. So Cindy moved to Ghana and had some issues, and so we have her here today. We're gonna tell her story. Cindy, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Oh, also on the panel, we have the Hierophant Cannon, a moderator. We have Boss Chick as well as a moderator, and Miss Cindy Marvelous. Go ahead, Cindy.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Firstly, Miss Kimberly, thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to meet you. I've been watching you for such a long time, and you've been such an inspiration and a strength, and you gave me the courage to stand up for myself. And I just adore you. I adore you. I wish
Thank
I had
you.
met you while
Thank
you were in Ghana. But it's all
thank
good.
you. Yeah, because you got out of there quick. Well, you was
Yeah,
there for what, a year?
363 days. But who's
So
counting?
let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Wherever you want to start. What took you to Ghana?
Well, um, so at the time, Florida was just becoming a little bit too much. It was right after the pandemic and people were still getting back to work and like, everything was just going sky high and they raised my rent and all kinds of stuff was going on behind the scenes, and my parents, they were fed up too, with the government, with just everything, their business and the racism and where they were, it was a lot for them. So my mom was like, it, she knows a friend in Ghana and she keeps talking so many great things about Ghana, how beautiful it is. You can come down there, don't have to worry about, mortgage or your rent or whatever. Let's just go down there. And she was looking for other places actually. But because she knew this lady, she said, all right, well, we have someone down there that'll kind of look out for us versus Panama or I forget where else she wanted to go. But I was like, all right, I'm not doing anything. Let's go. I was ready to go. So that was it for me. But they did all their research. My mother is very diligent when it comes on to that stuff. But we just figured that this person would have been, a good person to be down there with. But it was all just to get us down there, basically.
Okay. So getting to Ghana, what is the first thing you noticed that went wrong? Whether it was a slight sense of something or just right out in your face?
To be honest, Kimberly, I went down there so positive. As you can see in my video, it wasn't a put on. I went down there with, even with all the things that I did see, like you're asking me, I didn't see it. You know what I mean? Like I put my
Okay.
blinders onto it. The small, the porridge money. As soon as we get
Yeah.
for cus, like we got there, and they wanted to stamp the yellow fever card, and they needed small porridge money for that. But we already knew because we saw that somewhere online to pack
Right.
more money, and they do that in Jamaica. Tips make people work better and harder, so we knew
Yeah.
that going in, But then it's like again, jet lagged and everything. I didn't take it in until the next morning I woke up. Like we're still like I'm driving and I'm enjoying it. Me and my dog were looking through the back, but there was just so many red flags from immediately. But I just kind of put my blinders onto it. We were
Right.
there. We gave up everything. What else are we gonna do? Like make the best of it.
Right. Right.
Not complain, but just make the best of it. It should get better. You know.
Okay. Okay. See, the difference in me, I didn't give up my house for 3 years. I think October this last year is when my daughter closed my house down. So every time I went back, I went home.
Yeah.
So I didn't pack up everything and move. A lot of people did, but I didn't do that because
Yeah.
I still had my foot in two continents and two countries. I was still going
Yeah.
back and forth. Emotionally, I was still very attached.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and pull up a video of the day that you were leaving.
Okay.
Hierophant, you ready? Hierophant.
Yes, ma'am. Let me get it started. And we're starting moving with my parents, right?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Hold on, Cindy. We don't have our main backstage person. So me and Hierophant is figuring this out.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I have it
No
ready
worries.
whenever you are.
Cindy, what is that about? Okay,
So
I'll
this
wait.
is our story of how my family and I packed up our stuff and all our worldly possessions. We pretty much gave everything away because we were moving clear across the country to Ghana. We couldn't find a shipping company in time in Miami or anywhere in Florida to ship to Africa. The only shipping companies that exist were Atlanta and New York. They, all these things, they're just things. We couldn't acquire them again. And it just, to us, it just wasn't worth the energy. So, anyways, we pretty much sold what we could and gave away to whomever wanted. We placed an ad. People came by, got stuff, and then we donated a bunch of stuff to Goodwill. And yeah, that was that. This is my mom. This was one of her favorite views to look at the lake in front of our house. But I know she's gonna miss it, but not really. She has been ready to go a long time. Pops, this was ready to go. Stuff that was left, and we just let it go. At the end of the day, they're just things, and you can't take them. Big bro, we gonna miss you. You gonna miss us? And that was that.
Okay.
Everything was gone. We packed up our suitcases, loaded up the vehicles, and we headed to Miami Airport. It's a wrap.
Okay, so there we go. Kind of walk us through that, Cindy.
It's so heartbreaking to watch. I
Oh, it was
swear.
heartbreaking. For as soon as you said, y'all, you gonna miss us, it just did something to me.
Yeah, that's my brother and the one with the dreadlocks. He took the majority of stuff because he's like, y'all crazy talking about y'all giving this away. And he drove like 3 hours to come get some stuff. But yeah, we were told, things are cheaper down there. And being in Florida, there's no shipping company to go to Africa. So it's
For
either
my
New
city,
York.
it wasn't either. It was Atlanta, and I would have had to drive 7 hours
Right,
to San Diego, California. That
right.
was it.
So just to buy the container and then ship the container and then clear the container, like the stuff we had in there, I mean, yeah, they're nice, but at the end of the day, like you don't see like a Brinks truck pulled up at your cemetery at the gravesite. So
Right,
those are
right,
just
right,
things, you know? That was our
right.
mentality. But then when we got there and it's like you go into Malcolm's and you're like, whoa, everything is the same price. Like there's nothing cheaper. Like, oh, things come from China and then they come straight to Africa. So you get it for less. No, did you experience that?
No,
I
I
didn't.
in Malcolm I didn't experience like appliances. I didn't experience them. Well, you know what? My refrigerator was about 300 US dollars for a refrigerator freezer. But for the
Yeah.
most part, I didn't. Even when I bought my air fryer, people on my live was telling me that it was too much money. The air
Like
fryer was too much.
$75 is what they have them for at Malcolm's. And I'm
Okay.
like, I paid like 45 for mine, and I'm just like, it is what it
Yeah.
is. But
That's what they were telling me on my live when I was
yeah,
buying the air fryer. How
yeah.
about the food? Because you seem to love the food.
um, well, my dad's a chef. My stepdad's a chef. So I learned, he always tell me, when you go to a country, don't be scornful of their food. If they give you something, be gracious and take it. And if you don't like it, simply, spit it out in a napkin, but don't make your face up. So I tried everything. That's like, I tried everything. But unfortunately, in hindsight, looking back, some of the places where I ate, I really shouldn't have eaten at some
No,
of those
no,
places because
no,
it's like
no. Uh-uh.
now I'm looking back at it and thinking about like where did they get the water from to make the soup, or like how,
Yeah,
like
exactly, exactly. I personally was opposite you. I didn't eat nothing for 3.5 years. I tried the wachi, fufu, and I tasted a spoonful of jollof rice and did not like it. But for three and a
I
half years, I didn't eat their food at all. Nothing.
I didn't like it either. I tried everything. Like there wasn't. I
My
don't.
name is Tanisha. We are on a recorded line.
I don't think there was anything that I didn't try. And, unfortunately, I got food poisoning 4 times and I never talked about it. And I mean, like, there was the groundnut soup and I love that groundnut soup. But, I like spicy, but that, it's just pepper and peanuts. And they told me that, yeah, you're going to start getting slim when you drink that groundnut soup. And they were right because, oh my goodness, it's good going in.
Uh, See, I didn't eat it. I lost a lot of weight, but probably because I was eating mostly chicken and fruits every day. I wouldn't
Yeah.
eat nothing from Ghana at all.
And when I went down there, I was a pesca vegan. So it's like seafood and raw food. And those two things were the hardest things for me to find. Malcolm doesn't sell groceries like that. They sell, like seafood was non existent. Where I was in Cape Coast, like I'd have to go all the way to Elmina to
Elmina,
get
yeah.
seafood. And going to Elmina was another nightmare. I just wasn't prepared for all of that,
Okay.
honestly. So
Okay.
I
Well,
had to start eating back chicken and pork, and because I would have died for hunger, like even the produce, like it was hard for me there in Cape Coast to find a good market other than Kota Caraba, which was always it was a
even for
hassle.
produce, really?
Yeah, huh?
For
Yeah,
produce, you can find.
yeah.
Oh,
I had to go to
did you
Kota
eat the sour
Caraba.
sop?
Hmm?
Did you eat the sour sop?
Yeah, they call it apple down there. One of our
Yeah,
friends brought.
they call it an apple. Yeah.
Yeah, I found
And I
that we use
tried
that
my
a lot.
hardest to tell the guy like this is not an apple, and he was like,
No.
"It's an apple," and I'm like, "Okay."
No, I have a video on my channel with that. He's like, I brought the apple, and when we like, what? This is soursop. So we made some juice for him. We juice it here in Jamaica. It's very good for you. And
Okay.
Sundays we usually have like a juice, soursop juice, and it's very good. The leaves are really good for you too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna pull up the video, another video. You
Yeah.
ready, Hierophant?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, what's that behind you, Cindy? Is that water?
No, well, yeah, you can kind of see Cuba if you really look good on a clear day. That's Kingston. I'm up in the
Okay.
hills. I'm hanging out with my aunt, and
Oh,
she's
okay.
you see this sunset. I don't know if you
Oh,
can.
beautiful.
Yeah. So we could see all of Kingston, the planes coming in
Me
and all
too.
that stuff.
I had on.
Give me just a moment, find the starting point.
Coconuts. You drink coconut? I bring you some. Hello, baby. Hi, baby. Hello, my pretty girl. Tell me that again. What is it? This is a national monument. Right. And someone is taking care of it. Let me see your ID. Why do you want to? Let me see your ID. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. Since we have to pay, I don't know who you are. Who are you? You are security, but who are you? Let me see your ID.
Show me your ID.
We're not taking a tour. We're just taking pictures. There is no such thing as an entrance fee. Entrance fee. There is no entrance fee to come here. Lady. Sir, there is no. I don't want to have a problem with you. I don't want to have a problem with you either. I've been here. No, we don't. No, we don't. Don't point in my face. I'll do that because you are a criminal. Don't point in my face. Excuse me, otherwise we throw them out. Now, come throw me out. Tell the police to come and throw me out. I have the authority to throw you out. Call the police. Who are you? You still haven't thrown me your ID. Can you turn back? No. Show me your ID that you're still. You don't have no right to ask me. I can ask anyone anything since it's a national monument. You're disgraceful to Ghana. You are a disgrace to the Ghanaian people. Look at you. You are the disgrace to the society. You have no idea who I am, and I'm going to let the world know. President of the nation. I am going to let the world know who you are. The president of this nation will not be the right thing. How can you come to somebody's premises and say because it says everywhere that you don't have to pay. You people are robbing tourists. You are robbing tourists. You are robbing the tourists. Do not pay. Get out of my face. Who are you? Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Who are you? Get out of my face. You're the one getting in my face. Get out of my face. You are out here robbing people. You don't have to pay. It is all over the tourist blogs that you do not have to pay. I can give a donation if I feel like it. So they are taking tours. They are taking tours. We are not taking tours. This is free. There is no entrance fee. No.
What happened, Arafat?
If you ever want to know why I block ads with Pi, this is why I block ads with Pi. I just found what may be the biggest YouTube.
Never in my life. Never, ever.
Okay,
Never.
you can stop it.
Not in New York.
So, Cindy, the physical altercation wasn't on here.
That was it. I had my phone in my hand. Right when you see the screen go blank, that's when I had the phone, and my phone had One of these
But when I
holders.
watched it before, you could actually hear the
No,
audio.
that was it. That was it.
Okay.
Right then and there, like I went down with the phone and I had my phone like this, and that's when I went back. And that was
Now,
it.
when did you know when did they put their hands on you? Did you see that coming?
Yeah, I saw it coming because they have a thing where if like I've seen them do it before. I've been in the markets where they're arguing with women and they do this. Like they put up their hands like they
They
want to
got
pimp
it?
slap you. Yeah. I've seen
Okay.
it many times.
Yeah.
And three of them kept doing that to me. You know, in another lady's video dissecting all the crap and I started it and da 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 da, that's what they were saying. They were doing, I never captured all of that. So I'm like, if you hit me, I will punch you. That's when I said it, when he did that. And I turned and I looked at him and I said, if you touch me, I will punch you. And so that's where that came from. You know,
Oh,
it's not like I was going there and starting mess with them, you know?
wow. 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 So which one actually grabbed you? The one that keeps talking?
No, so the one to the right, the darker one, he was the one. They grabbed my arm when I walked in because I'm just walking in all willy nilly like I always do. Like I said, I'm in the beggars. Everybody knows me in Cape Coast, you know. And I've never seen these people before. It must have been a holiday because there was a busload of, white tourists there, and I don't know if they were showing their behinds or what it was, but there was no booth. There was nothing different than when I usually go there. So he's grabbing on my arm. You have to pay. You have to pay. And I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? I'm not doing a tour. I'm just taking a picture real quick. You know, he could have handled that differently. So you're gonna grab onto my hand, touch me physically first, and then try to drag me. And I said, I'm not touring. These people just can't. And then it escalated. He's like, I'm gonna call the manager. I was like, call the manager. I'm just going right here to take a picture. And then it escalated.
Which he never did.
That was the guy in the yellow shirt, the one that was talking to me and telling me, who do
Okay.
you think you are? And he did that too. They all did that. And then so it was mainly those two in front of me, and then there was two behind me. I didn't even see those two coming, but they got on top of me while I was on the floor, and they got it too. You know?
Wow. Did
Yeah.
anybody attempt to help you?
No, not one soul. They all stood there. They all stood there, all the tourists, and there was kids touring the place too, and not one person. After,
Wow.
it felt like it could have been about 2 or 3 minutes. I don't know. I was blacking out, and I'm blacking out not from infliction of pain or anything like that. Blacking out from the anger and the rage that was in me. Like it takes a lot for me to get to that point, especially to hit a man. But it was self-defense. You hit me first. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what he did. He hit me first and I warned him fairly. If you touch me, I'm gonna punch you, and that's exactly what I did. And then he's gonna come crying, look what you did to my eye. You have to pay for this. You have to pay for this. I'm like,
Wow. How did it end?
so eventually, even the lady that she came, she was a Jamaican woman living in, I don't know where she's from, but she was one of my YouTube followers. And she came down there. And it happened so fast that she was shocked. Like there's a picture, like a still of her with her drinking her drink because she couldn't believe that it would even get to that point, you know? And but I don't everyone keeps asking how come she didn't help me. And I feel bad for them saying that because she was shocked. She's probably never seen anything happen to anyone like that before. And, it was, but no one helped me. Eventually, I don't know how long I was down there. Eventually, I think some guy came and pulled me up. One of the painters that knew me said something to them, and, he got me up. And my mom was at the restaurant up the street in front of the castle. So I'm covered in blood, head to toe, and she sees me running up, and a bunch of kids that they
Oh,
all know.
you were bleeding?
No, I had their blood all over me.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Like it looked like I was royally messed up. But when they got a bucket of water and washing me down, and I had not a scratch on me. I didn't break a nail, nothing. It was all their blood.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you walked out of the castle at this point, right?
I walked out of the castle. People are screaming behind me because, like I said, people knew me. They were carrying me to where they knew my mom was. And My mom sees me bloody and she's screaming, "Oh my God, what happened? What happened?" And I don't know where those other two were that it was just a blur. And I went to the taxi and I sat down in my taxi. It wasn't my normal driver. This was a completely different person. My normal driver would have protected me, and firstly, he wouldn't have let me go on over there by myself. Apparently, you can't go anywhere in Ghana as a single woman. I've been reading a lot of the comments. Oh, you should have never went by yourself. What kind of place is that if I can't walk?
And I get sick of hearing that, but
Right?
yeah, I don't
It's
like it.
supposed to be the most peaceful country in the world, but every time I go out, watch your phone, put this away, put up your purse, make sure don't walk alone. Like, how can you feel so? Like I don't know.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, me personally, I haven't experienced that in Ghana. I've never had a man raise his hand at me, and I've never seen it. But every incident I heard about was in Accra.
Yeah.
I had never heard an incident in Elmina or Cape Coast. Each incident I heard had taken place in Accra.
Yeah.
So yours was the first one that I had heard of in the Cape Coast area.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the entrance fee, I know that when you go in, there is a sign that's saying it's like 80 CDs for us and 20 for locals, locals or something like that. Why did you think there was no entrance fee?
Because I've never paid, Kimberly.
Okay.
The beginning of that video, that one that you were playing on YouTube, that was my mom and I walking through, and the Chinese lady, that we were all there. We didn't pay. Like, we sat there and we were touring. I've never seen any sign. I've bought souvenirs there. I've went to the bathroom there. Like, I've never seen any. The last time, the first time I went, I said, "Is there any place to pay?" And he says, "No, but you can give a donation if you like." That's what the guy said to me.
Okay.
So I'm not looking to see if I've never seen it, and I mean, like, I go there every week. I go in there, on the cannon. Sometimes I look out, and I've never done the tour, but I've never like, what is 80 cities? Like, that's not for me to get into
Right.
and make a
Exactly.
national incident out of it over $8. That's stupid.
If anybody would like to come up on stage and talk to Cindi, the link is in the chat. So, Cindi, let's get to some questions here. Let me see. Let me go backwards. Okay. So Barbara says, wow, that was an eye-opener. Crooks are everywhere.
And that was that, because every time I go down there as well, they try to scam you, whether it be buying a painting. And
Yes.
I'm just like, it's a lot. Every time I go into Cape Coast, Madam, and I hear that from you, and I hear it all the time, and it's so funny, small, and people are, oh, I've never heard that referred to.
Yeah.
Yes, all the time.
Yeah. Everywhere you go. And if you click on a place, there's a place I go every week, and they do this to me every single week. Like, I don't want to buy anything. Please back up from the car. I'm not buying anything. And they are so persistent and aggressive about it. No,
it's
my driver or my husband will back them up. But if I'm talking, they don't pay no attention to me.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
Hold on, let me make this bigger. Hierophant said, oh, I can't even see this. Can somebody read it? Because if I make it big, it covers up the message.
It seems to be a cultural standard in Africa to hit or intimidate women with physical violence.
Yeah, I didn't know. Well, I've never experienced that, but I mean, now from the stories I've heard in Accra to your story, because he was out of line, he talked to you like he had every right to drag you out of there.
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? And I wasn't that high pitched in the beginning, because it was just funny. It wasn't funny to me, but it was very unserious. Like, who are you? Like, I've been here. Like, I've never seen you before. What are you? A security? You're the boss. Okay. Let me see some IDs. Like, I was joking. And then he starts, huffing and puffing, and and I'm like, why are you being so loud in front of all these people? Like, are you showing, let me see your ID then, since you're the boss. Like, I was literally, I wasn't serious. But then he starts to do this, and I said, whoa, and then starts getting loud with me. And I'm like, I'm trying to explain. We just going right there real quick and taking a picture. He could have handled that so much better. I'm not even gonna say I'm used to, because in Jamaica or in the States, someone would say, you know what, all right, well, go ahead. Or I'm not that I was expecting some type of special treatment or anything like that, but there's a better
Yeah.
way that you could have said that.
Yes.
Usually, like we don't do this, or I don't know. You could have just
Yeah.
handled it
Yeah.
way better than that if you're the boss.
Yeah. And
And you
I called
hear
my
I'm not
owner.
from that country. And
Yeah.
he went and attacked the lady and telling the girl that came with us, the small girl that came with my visitor, and she had a baby on her back. No one saw that. She had a baby on her back and was up in her face too. And I'm like,
Wow.
leave her alone. Like, what do you do? Like, he looked like he was about to drag her. So that's when I start to get upset. Like, stop talking to her. Why are you talking to her? Talk to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Cindy. I had called when I first rented my land, I called the owner in because we were talking about me to go ahead and buy the land.
Yeah.
And so I had my husband call him and ask him, could he come to the land and meet me so
Yeah.
we could talk? He laughed and told my husband, she can't summons me. I'm the owner. She can't summons me to a meeting. And I said, I'm trying to meet with you about purchasing the land. Like, what you mean I can't summons you? Like, you have some superiority over me or something. That's what's crazy to me. But that
Yep.
is how they think.
Yes. I'll give you a joke, Kimberly. We were heading to the beach in Maury, and another driver that we normally don't use, he got stuck in the sand. And now in Jamaica, like we learned back in my days how to drive. You had to go to the driving test, driving a stick shift, a standard vehicle. So,
Uh-huh.
like, I've been driving a standard vehicle since I was like 14 years old. No lie. So it was a standard taxi, the little small ones. So he
Uh-huh.
got stuck in there and he kept going forward. And I'm like, I'm used to driving in snow, sleet. Like, I know how to get out of that. You got to shimmy the
Mm-hmm.
tires and bounce it. He's in there making it worse. I said, sir, can I try? Oh, no, no, no. You are a woman. You don't know nothing about driving. I said, just give me a chance. And they laughed and he was so upset. I said, look, we have somewhere to be. I said, can you just get out the seat for 1 second? No, no, no. You're what? I said, just get. And he got out and in 1 minute. 1 minute it took me just to shimmy the car and get it out. And I looked at him. I was like, can we go now?
Exactly. Now I had that experience. We were driving to Cape Coast, and this was not my regular driver. The driver saw the police on the road to Cape Coast, and he didn't have a license. So he
Mm-hmm.
pulled over, and I'm like, what's going on? So my husband said, the driver doesn't have a license. I said, well, how long are we going to sit here?
Mm-hmm.
And we can't sit here till the police leave because they're not leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, look, I have a license. I have a U.S. license and an international license. I could drive. Girl, that man looked at me like I spoke a totally foreign language to him. And I got tickled because my husband said, Hajia, you can drive this car. And I said, yes, I can drive it. Now, I didn't drive that car, but we was driving Blacko's car, my regular driver, one time. And
Mm-hmm.
he was trying to push start. And I said, well, just let me push start it and you and my husband can push the car. He didn't have a problem. They pushed the car. I kicked it into gear and it started and that was it. But they do not think that, I don't know, because their women do drive. There's some women in Ghana that drive.
And that's the thing. Like, I've seen a lot of big women that are very dominant to these smaller boys, their husbands, their boyfriends, whatever it is. Like, I've seen them intimidate. I've seen a fight in Kota Karaba Market where he went like that to the lady and the lady dragged him by his shirt
Oh,
collar.
you've
And,
seen a lot. I ain't seen Cindy. I have not
I
seen
I
that.
go out. Like, I had to feed my mom. Like, my mom, she wasn't.
Uh-huh.
And my dad went away for a couple of months. Like, I did the brunt of the shopping. My mother she never liked going to Cape Coast, so I was there all the time, all week long. It was a process for me to get seafood. I had to go to Elmina and then come back and then go over here and then go to the American store to get some seasoning and then try to get some cheese over there. Like, it was.
Girl, where did you find cheese at? Andy's or another store?
Yes, Andes.
Oh,
Andes.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. That's where I got my cheese every week.
That's
And
the
it's,
only place in Cape Coast that has it.
oh my God. The Shell station has it, but it's double the price.
Right, I heard that, but it's bigger quantities.
Yeah,
Like, they
yeah.
they make the matzo. You know where else has it? Oh goodness, I made a video on them too, but it's mainly mozzarella though, and they have the
Well,
big
that's
block.
my favorite is mozzarella.
Yeah, I
Like
forget
I
what
eat it
else.
as a snack. I eat
Yeah,
mozzarella just as a snack.
me too.
So
Me too.
now you went to a Cebu, right?
Yeah.
Now, I've never had interest in a Cebu for two reasons. One, the land was being sold. There is people selling it when it was supposed to be free. And
Mm-hmm.
then there was a whole news, there was a whole they did a whole news show about it, a roundtable about that the land was not supposed to be sold, that it was given by the chief. The second reason I was not interested in a Cebu because it was a community of Black Americans, and I went there to learn the culture and be surrounded by the Ghanaians, not the African Americans. And the fact that I figured eventually that area would be a target because everybody knows or everybody thinks that there's money there. And sure enough, the last 7 or 8 months, they have been a target. So, how do you feel about a Cebu land and what do you know about it? What can you share with us?
Well, I know a lot about it because that's where we were for the first 3 months. Um, I can only speak on on witnessing what my parents went through. It didn't happen to me. I was just tagging along, and I took on a lot of their problems on my head. And
Okay,
once I
hold on,
figured,
Cindy. Hold on, Cindy.
yeah.
Explain to the people what a Cebu is.
Acebu is land that was okay. So I did a video with the Paramount Chief of Acebu. It's a
Yes.
whole uh, region in the central region of Ghana that includes Cape Coast and Acebu and all the surrounding areas. It's a pretty vast land, and there was. I have the whole videos all about that. I can't remember exactly. So it was offer. It was with him and the president, they got together and, with the initiative of the year of the return, he also said, well, hey, listen, I have all this land. I would love to donate and give it to the initiative and bring some people back to their home. That was his mentality. He's an older guy. That was what it was supposed to be about. The administration fee was, I believe, $1,500 or $1,200, and that's just to get all the paperwork done and everything like that. That's how it was supposed to be. You go down there, it's on the website, acebuman.com, I believe it was, and all the information was on there straightforward. You didn't need a middleman to do that. But
Right.
people seeing on YouTube people selling land and this and
Yes.
that and taking advantage of the fact that people are coming down there in the same situation that I and a lot of my other followers are in. They're tired of the rat race and they just wanted to get away, and people down there that bought into the scheme of the year of the return. Now they're hungry. They were scammed, and now they're trying to get more people to come down there. Because when you get down there, you can't. At that time, you couldn't work. You couldn't take jobs away from the Ghanaian people,
Yeah.
and so it became like dog eat dog. So all right, so people are doing this to make that, and but so my parents they thought that they were being sold land in Acebu. They entrusted the lady. Turns out it wasn't Acebu, it was Agendum. That
Oh,
the whole she did that out of personal greed as well. We thought on the videos you see, oh, you get a welcome and like we're thinking drummers are gonna meet us outside and like I
yeah.
don't know what we thought, but it wasn't that. We thought like our neighbor, he had a think tank, and we thought that's where the
You're talking
expats
about
go.
Steve.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And like we thought that that's where we would go and congregate in the community, and there's in my experience and witnessing, my mom's birthday party, that's when we got to meet everyone. And, there was a handful of expats there and they all seemed nice and everything. And, they were nice. The ones that we met. And then there was a lot of village people. I don't know where this lady knew all these village people from, but whatever. But, yeah, so we weren't a part of the whole Asebu thing because she sold us land and the land wasn't even straight in agendum either. Like, it's just, it was draining, and they didn't realize until way after months later that agendum isn't part of Asebu. You know, even when I was doing those videos with the chief, I didn't realize that agendum wasn't good because the chief of agendum and the chief of Asebu, they were having beef. So I spoke with the chief of agendum as well. I did a video with him too, clearing up why his his village is different and separated from, like, it was just a lot going on. And I'm like, wow, we where's our drummers? Like, where's the unity? Where's the Africa unite? Like, I don't see that. It wasn't anything like that.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so what went wrong? You say you went there with a friend. You talked about your first house and your second house and how that all just went wrong.
Yeah, so after leaving, when we got there, the lady promised us a 2-bedroom apartment. When we got there, her house wasn't where my parents were supposed to stay. Their room, so she had like a 4-bedroom studios that she's renting out, and so those weren't finished. She needed our money to finish the rest of her house. So
Right.
imagine the next day she started, because she gets the money right in her hand, and all the workers come over. The very next morning, 6 o'clock, all you hear is the hammering and the drilling, and to fix the rest of her other 3 apartments. So we went through that for 3.5 months, among other things.
Mm,
I started to see her true colors, and it was just that I was taking on my parents' stuff. My parents are two very easygoing people, and sometimes I really gotta chill and take their, you know, Cindy chill kind of
right,
thing, because
right.
I take on their problems, and for them, they don't care. It's not that they don't care, but they go with the flow. They're not gonna let people walk all over them. My mother is
Yeah,
smart, street smarts as well as book smarts, both of them. So in Jamaica, we would say they play fool to catch wise.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
so they kind of dumb themselves down just to see how far. You give them an inch, let's see how far they'll go with it. So that's what they were doing. But me, I'm a Pisces. I pop off. I can't keep it in. I got to tell you how I feel. And I just had to tell her exactly the foolishness that she's carrying on with. And that's where that went. So
Right.
then we went and we got another place. And this other place was supposed to be nicer. It was being fixed, and we rented it for another 3 months, paid up in advance, and it was supposed to be fully furnished. Oh my God, Miss Kimberly, when we got there, I had to take a Xanax that day. I made a video of my 6 months
Right.
that day, because when I got in there, I was like, I wanted to literally scoot in the corner and just scoot down and just cry. Cause I'm like, the refrigerator was old, and like we paid him extra for furnished apartment. My
Yes.
bed was just a frame. I didn't have a mattress, and then my parents' bed was moldy, and it was just, oh
Oh,
God, like
yeah.
what do these
I
people,
believe it.
like, what do you think we're used to? Like, what do you think we're coming from? Like, I'm not saying that it just wasn't nice. The stove was
Yeah.
old, and it was just so. For another 3 months, we're not going to get our money back because he already used that.
Right.
Plumbing, flooding, then the molding. It was, Miss Kimberly. Every day it was something. Every
Girl, I
day.
know. I had to leave my house for the same reason and go get a hotel. I know. I understand.
And we were supposed to get air conditioning, but the roof had those ceilings with the cardboard, and then when you move that, you could see this, like, you're seeing all the holes in the zinc, and it's like, who built
Uh-huh.
this? Like, what?
Uh-huh.
I know more about building in my little finger. My dad used to be an architect and a contractor. Sometimes when I look at those houses over there, I'm like, I can see with my naked eye that that's not level. Like, what are you doing?
And
Like,
they know how to do it. They just slack on everything. They
Miss
just slack on
Kimberly,
everything.
I have done some videos because I was interested in the building, and that was where my demographics was going. Older men that were interested in building in Ghana, and so I used to do a lot of. There's so many that I couldn't post. I remember going to an apartment complex, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Don't you see the column is crooked?" And he's like, "Yeah, I see that." And he's like, "Listen, I don't know anything about construction, but they offered me the money, and I just took the job, and I figured I'd learn it on the way doing it."
Oh God.
I'm not saying everybody he does that. But hey, that was his man. That's what he said to me, and I have it on video, but I'm not gonna post that. I have so many videos that I've never posted. It's like, and the one time I said things that have been on the news, I'm slandering. I talked about my personal experience. My parents are happy down there. There's a lot of expats that are happy down there, but the thing
Yeah,
is,
it is. It is. It is.
if somebody said in my comments, "Oh, you don't have water, get a borehole." Yeah, we got a borehole, but did y'all tell us that
Yeah.
would be a problem?
Yeah.
If we knew beforehand, like, we would have made preparations for that. Or the electricity problem. No one says anything like that in the video, so I'm sharing to a lot of my followers went to Ghana because of me, and they're still interested in going, and I'm not deterring anyone from going. I explain what I'm used to, and people can use their better judgment. You're not going to have the same experience I had. You're not going to stay in the same place I stayed in, but these are the
Right.
things to look out
Right.
for.
Because I'm going back. I miss it. But I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't had those issues, but I missed it. But I chose Elmina because Elmina was undeveloped. And I
Yeah.
really wanted to live in the village. And I really did had no interest in Accra whatsoever.
Me either.
I'm
We
not
didn't
really
either.
I don't really like Cape Coast that much to live. I really liked Elmina.
Yeah.
So my experience was different. I did expect certain things. Now I didn't expect what we got the last year, which was lights out every single day, 2-3 times a day, lights being off for 3 days in a row. I had never experienced that until last year. So that was new. Having no water and no lights for days was new for me.
So the third apartment that we moved into, it was a house. We got a 4-bedroom house for what we paid for. The 3 months that we were at the first place, we paid that for an entire year for a 4-bedroom house, you know? And so we get there, there's no water. But that was the government's issue. So we had no water for 2 weeks. I heard in one of your videos you said the same thing. And then the toilets, then the sewage, then all kinds of stuff. And it was like, look at this beautiful sunset behind me. How
Yeah,
gorgeous
it
is
is
that?
beautiful. It
Sorry
is
about that.
beautiful.
I just had to take that in for a
The
second.
whole background is beautiful.
Thank you. It's my happy place, It's gorgeous
Mhm.
out here. But yeah, it wasn't anything that I could have prepared for. As much as you tell me, you have to go and experience it for yourself. And,
Yeah,
and
it's
of
true.
course there's nicer places. You go to Accra, but I wanted my whole TikTok. I have a lot more followers on TikTok, and they keep telling me to post on YouTube, post on YouTube. And that's what I did. A lot of my family members. So it wasn't like I was doing it to get views or make I could care less. I just throw some videos on there half the time, and who watches it.
Yeah.
And my TikTok, I have a community over there, and they were supporting me. They were telling me what to eat, and it was fun. And I did nothing but beautiful videos of the places that I found that were amazing. Good
Yeah.
food. I never talked about the food poisoning or the sewage or the smell or the garbage. I never talked about any of those things. And sometimes I made videos without saying anything, and you guys could, kind of see from those videos of how
Yeah.
it looks, but yeah, so what was that? The third apartment? Oh my God. Nightmare. Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. And in addition to what you were saying about that, I got that place through a local Ghanaian of mine. He asked the landlord, he knew someone. And it was just my mom and myself that were there. My stepdad had gone back to the States for a couple of months. So when my mom starts calling and saying, listen, the toilet isn't working, whatever, he got so mad at our friend. Why didn't you tell me that it was Americans? It was a bronies. I would have never charged them that. I charge you local price. And he was so mad. Who is this woman? How is she called? Like, she's summoning me, like you said.
Wow.
He was livid. They came over there Christmas morning asking. So it was the other half of the house wasn't finished. We got it on, but we just wanted to get out of the last one that we were in. So we said, when you clean up the other side, we'll pay you the rest of the money. Christmas morning, he comes knocking at the door 7 o'clock in the morning for the rest of the money, and they did nothing to the yard. So I'm like, these people, they don't care. They didn't care. It was just so all of those things. it just compounded the snowball, just a bunch of other things going on. And in the move, getting over there, they steal my stuff, and it was just a
They
lot.
stole your stuff?
Yeah, one of my taxi friends, taxi drivers, I thought he was a friend. I had my DJ equipment in the car with us. And I put that in last on the very top. And I said, be careful of this. And coming out, I was like, I see my speakers. I said, where's my console? He took my console. My friend, my Ghanaian friend, he had his number. He's not answering the phone number. So I had his number. I just got his number from WhatsApp, for WhatsApp. And I call him and I said, listen, don't let me find you. Because I had a lot of police friends. We made friends with everyone, Miss Kimberly. It wasn't like I was walking around, oh, I hate Ghana. I can't stand Ghana.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I came back that I said, because everyone kept asking me, why did you leave Ghana? Why did you leave Ghana? And it was killing me not to talk about that fight. I didn't post it on my page. I made Cavalli, who is a good Ghanaian friend of mine, a YouTuber too. He and I talk behind the scenes. I have so many Ghanaian friends that I've made off of social media, and they understand and they wanted me to talk about it. But that was killing me. And when I saw your video and you were talking about all the challenges you were facing too, and I was like, well, that sounds pretty much like what I'm going through.
Right.
And then I hear other people talking about it, the same thing. And I'm like, okay, well, so many people can't be lying, you know?
Right. We have 54 people watching. Can you guys please like the live? I would appreciate it. Esther, let's see. Yanni Young has a question. Kim, are you afraid the water and lights will be out when you return to Ghana? No, I'm not afraid of that. I'm used to it. I was in Ghana over 3.5 years, so I'm used to it. What you do is you keep barrels and barrels of water just in case. As far as the lights going out, I have emergency lights. I have flashlights. We have solar lights. We have a lot of different ways. We have an emergency radio. So no, I'm not afraid of it. I know it's going to happen, and I'm prepared for it. Let me see. Okay, Ray, are you ready for the next video? We got a little bit of time to pull one of them up, I think.
Yes, ma'am. I can play the short. I'll get you.
Okay, let's see that. Let me add you to the stage. Can you bring it up? Okay, hold on. Okay, ready.
So Jamaican is not the land of gold and water that you say. No, it's an account word which means Jamaica. Perhaps we are stuck. And that is why today the Jamaicans name, I think like our names, you have the Kojo, the Chi, the Chalmons, because we are all from the same. So the right word of Jamaica is Jamaica. Yeah. All right. Okay, then. See that? Yeah. This is a feeling that you just can't explain. You just can't. Jamaica.
That's it, Ray?
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
how did you feel? If anybody would like to come up and talk to Cindy, the link is in the chat. How did you feel there, Cindy, at the
To be
last
honest, Miss Kimberly, I didn't go that day. That my parents
Okay.
went. I told them I
Okay.
didn't. That whole for me. I went the first time I went to the castle. I felt this rage inside of me, and
Yeah.
I just wanted no parts of anything to do
Yeah.
with any of that.
Do
So
you think Africa is home? It's the motherland for us.
no.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm going back, but I do agree. Being there, I totally agree. Wow.
Never felt that connection, to be honest, with my own black people. As a matter of fact, I didn't know what the word xenophobia was until I got there. In
Mhm.
Jamaica, I guess we have classism, but for me, how I grew up, everybody is everybody. Like no one's above anyone in my family. That's how I was brought up. But in Ghana, I noticed that uh they just some places. Okay, my experience is Cape Coast. I keep having to, you know, add that. My experience is Cape Coast, Central Region, Ghana. And I've been to Accra a few times. And, I've been to bougie places, I've been to not so bougie places. And I've noticed that in the bougie places, the women, they look down on other people. Like, it just didn't feel like home, Miss Kimberly. It just wasn't. It just didn't. It just,
Wow. Wow.
some places, like the workers in Malcolm's, I always get a because they know that they're getting a tip from me at the end of the day. So of course, Sister Cindy and hugging and
Oh
it's
no,
just
Malcolm was very rude every time I went in there almost. I couldn't stand
really
them people. Like they won't get out the aisle if they see you coming. They don't want to help. Oh no. Mm-mm.
well, like I said, we went down there happy for like the first maybe week, and then everything after that it went downhill. And so we were just hi, what's the Aquaba? Like we were just bubbling and happy to be there, and then that wore off real quick for me anyway, because I
Yeah.
started to see the honeymoon was over. I'm there now, and it's like I'm not shelling out hundreds to everyone. I'm like giving them local money. They want American money, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't have
You
any
know, I
American.
know I don't believe it's the motherland. I don't believe it's really my motherland, but Ghana feels more like home than Mexico, even though I'm very comfortable in Mexico. And the US is out of the question for me. So and it could be that I was in Ghana, like I said, for so long, but I love the land. I love my village of people that I'm surrounded by. I just hate when I have to go to Cape. I have problems when I have to go to the markets in Cape Coast. I don't like that. And I go every Wednesday. But yeah, I'm definitely going back. Will you ever return to Ghana?
I mean, never say
Outside
never.
outside of reasons for your parents, would you go back?
Uh, no.
No, no. Okay. It's a definite
There's,
no.
it's a definite no. No, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. No, that's just a hassle to get there, and once you get there, and I mean, unless I'm traveling like passport heavy, and I don't have passport heavy money right now, so he made it
Right.
look amazing, and it is. You can enjoy that type of experience, but
Wow.
no,
Wow. Oh,
it's
wow.
it's.
Well, does any of the moderators have any questions for Cindy before we end this live? Let's see here. Hold on. I got one moderator that's working. I don't think she can talk. She's at work.
Okay.
Ray, do you have any questions? Who else is up here? Boss
No,
Chicken.
ma'am. I asked my questions in the chat, and they were addressed. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
you asked your questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Cindy, I want to thank you for joining us. I really do appreciate you being here. I'm so sorry for what you went through in Ghana. Cindy, I can't see living in the US. I just cannot.
No,
I
I
was in the
would.
U. I got here July, September. I came straight to Mexico.
That was me. I got back. I went back to Florida in April. After I left Ghana, I went back to Florida, and I'm like, oh, to start all over. I mean, I've done it before, but Florida. There's other states I could have went, but I do love Florida because of the weather. But the cheapest, even today, I was looking on Zillow. The cheapest rental apartment in one of the not so nicest neighborhoods is like $2,100. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
In
Here,
South Florida.
I'm in Jamaica and I can get a fully furnished luxury apartment. I do have an apartment that's fully furnished and I pay half of that,
I
and it's
cannot
next to you.
imagine paying even
No.
1,500, 1,700 for a one bedroom. I cannot every single month.
They
I can't
raised my rent
imagine.
to 2,600 after 1 year. So it's like, how do you even who does that? So that was another reason why I took the opportunity to go to Ghana. What? $400 a month rent? Or that's what we were told, or $400 a year, some foolishness.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, you Google it, you look on YouTube, and that's what they were saying. The rent is cheap. And I even saw a TikTok video the other day. someone said it. Oh, this is what you can get for in Ghana for. Okay, what part of Ghana? Like where? Be more specific. You guys are
Yeah.
you're selling a lie. Like be transparent.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Cindy, thank you for coming in. Like I said, I'm sorry for your experience in Ghana. I hate our experiences on the land because
Yeah.
we went there with an open heart, with good
Oh,
intentions, and
absolutely.
it just didn't work out. Because of the locals, it didn't work out. But I think one of the things is they're not taught anything about us. They know what they see on TV,
Yep.
which is nothing. They think we live on the beach and we run on the beach every day and we're rich, and it's not. It's just not true.
Yep.
But they're not taught anything about our culture, and they don't. I don't know. They don't accept us very well.
No.
But again, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. And I love you. Stay blessed. And also, thanks for watching me. I do appreciate that.
Oh, I love you more, Miss Kimberly. Thank you for having me again. And thank you to everyone watching and joining. Don't forget to comment, like, and share on Miss Kim's video. And
Thank you, Cindy.
we'll speak again.
Okay,
Hopefully it'll be
Cindy.
on some better terms. I'll be watching you. I hope you can post
Yeah, I'll be
good
back
stuff.
in Ghana in April. I believe April I'll be back.
You definitely got to visit my parents, Miss Kim. You're right so
Yes.
close. My stepdad would love to cook for you. Some nice. You're vegan? Are you
No,
vegan?
no, no. I'm not vegan. I just couldn't find nothing to eat in Ghana.
Oh, well, Pop's got you. So just let me know when you're going. They'll hook
I
you up.
will, Cindy. Thank you.
All right, my dear. Good night, everyone. Have a great evening.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, how do I have to play audio in stream? Play outro and